Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to LEGO City Undercover. Let's continue. Now, where were we going? Let's just look at the map. Yeah, we are just slightly away from where we're supposed to be. What are we doing, though? Like, we know Rex is the bad guy, so there really was no twist, so there was really no reason to hide the fact that Rex was the bad guy. They could have just done like Lego Batman 1 and 2, if I recall, did, which is just have the Joker as the bad guy throughout the entirety of the games. In every level, you just have the Joker, and then the Joker would have, in Lego Batman, maybe gotten some other villains to be the sub-boss of a specific level. But having us jump around and be undercover in other gangs,
hey Chase,
doesn't solve much.
I figured this tunnel would look fancier, seeing as Blackwell's so rich.
it ain't finished, is it? Blackwell lost interest in building stuff after the scandal.
Oh yeah, what was the deal with that?
What? Have you been on holiday for the last few years?
Not quite.
Blackwell was gonna build this massive apartment complex.
Yeah,
with
we're
a mall and
kidnapping
everything up
him,
in
I
Bluebell
think.
National Park. But then someone finds some sort of rare squirrel there, so City Hall stops it. By then, he'd already spent billions building Blackwell Bridge to connect the park to uptown.
That must have been embarrassing for him.
Oh yeah, he didn't take it kindly. Vowed he'd never build anything again.
Right.
Now, we gotta be quiet.
Who is this guy that's
Wait here and
talking
keep
to
the
me?
engine running. Get up there, get the stuff, and get back down.
Okay.
Like, I don't even know who that character is. It's not like I've taken a long break in this game or anything. I've been trying to marathon this as much as possible, so it's really ridiculous that there would be a character that seems just out of nowhere. Was perhaps that the fire chief? I guess maybe that was the fire chief. I still think that there's a chance that Blackwell might be a bad guy, but the Italian mafia is telling us to kidnap him, basically to spite Rex Fury. This is an interesting levels in that it's just kind of rushing us through
It's weirdly
doing
quiet
a lot
around
of
here.
things.
Maybe Blackwell security guys are on holiday.
Gotta get the right thing. Because we have the score multiplier. Inherently, this is the problem of a lot of LEGO levels later on, is that you almost certainly will have some kind of score doubler, so even in your first playthrough, you're going to get True Hero, or whatever it is. Well, I also wouldn't be surprised if this is just kind of a short level. We still need to unlock one more hero class. And it's got to have some kind of electrical ability, even though it also has to have the super strength ability. I don't think that matters, so I'm just going to leave that alone. Little micro stutter. It's funny here. This is like the first LEGO game I've played probably in dozens of LEGO games where my first and main complaint isn't centered around the micro stuttering. That I can kind of just ignore that to complain about several other issues. So that's a bit of a checkpoint. But take note that almost every other level doesn't allow you to unlock a checkpoint like this. So whoever designed this level is doing it way better than all the other levels. So why wasn't the person in charge of designing this level in charge of making everything else? Although I will say this level does seem like it is just kind of very quickly running forward through this. And again, this is a sewer level, so we've seen like 3 levels that are sewer oriented levels. Very possibly all 3 of those levels were at one time going to be one large level. There was a Zelda game where you would go back to the same like dungeon over and over again and you'd get more abilities and you would be able to do more at that dungeon. I don't think that really works for too many games though. I would have to kind of heavily question a LEGO game that tried to play like that. But that's kind of what this feels like, is they were thinking maybe they'd do a single sewer level that you went back to multiple times. You do end up going up. You do end up going through every level twice anyway in a LEGO game, at the minimum. And I think twice is more than enough. This feels awkward, to say the least. It's just a little weird to be doing this when I'm not really in a full understanding of what I'm doing or why I'm doing it. Like, we have to take that step back and go, you're an undercover police officer who is kidnapping somebody just to not blow your cover. And you're punching these security people who probably are good guys just to not blow your cover. So if you were going to have a story like this, even for kids' story, I think you need to have a long conversation where the chief of police tells you you're going to be deep undercover, or the mayor tells you you're going to be deep undercover, and at no point can you blow your cover, and have some scenarios even. It would be kind of ridiculous to do this in a kids game, but having a scenario where you could blow your cover and then you just get a game over scene and then reload would be helpful. At the very least, it should have been a consistently repeated mantra of Chase to say, I can't blow my cover. And if you were gonna do something like put Natalie in danger if you do blow the cover, that would work relatively well. Yeah, you totally could write this story better. Have Natalie go deep undercover also. She's now a bad girl, or she's pretending to be a bad girl. And thus, if you blow your cover, you blow her cover and put her in danger. Then she could be involved in a lot more of the games and actions. You could get a lot more video calls from her, which she really isn't getting enough dialogue and interaction with you. Even if you don't have anything particularly impactful to say, just having her pretend to be a major bad girl giving you orders would be room for comedic opportunity. Man, kind of just powering through this level. Powering through a level. Oh, he slides on a flag. Well, there's one thing we can't do. Alright, now we've got to take the kind of long journey all the way back. And up we go through the elevator, and I assume there'll be another level here.
Billionaire, where would I hide my vault? Oh, right.
I don't think we're robbing him. Yeah, there's water under his floor. So are we on some secret island? It'd be kind of nice if we could tell that.
How does chopsticks go again?
There probably should be several rich people you were going to kidnap if you were going to do this, instead of just one guy. They really went out of their way to make this billionaire really likable too, and related to. Which that doesn't make any sense in a kid's game. You're gonna tell kids they have to play it as a bad guy and then make them feel bad because they played it as a bad guy. That's rude. Alright, that's the crowbar symbol. They really needed a different color for the crowbar.
See? Now that's a sensible place to hide a vault.
We're getting studs and things. Notice how I broke one piece and then it dropped more pieces than that one piece would have contained. They should have done a better job of making that seem reasonable. Yeah, the idea of Lego pieces just appearing out of nowhere, it's not really what I want to see happen. They probably should have considered expanding on the concept of criminals. If you're gonna have a cat burglar like criminal, you probably should have a tank, a thug type criminal. Well, we got a full shield that time. That'll be interesting to see what happens with that. A tank, a cat burglar, a con man. Just look at the Ocean's 11, 12, and 13 movie series and see how the different classes are. A guy who's into prosthetics and makeup and disguises. That, I mean, it's silly TV mentality, but silly TV movie mentality would work perfectly. It makes at least a lot more sense than what we're saying right now, which is us just switching between a mechanic or a regular civilian and a police officer that's undercover, and the cat burglar, and then a chicken farmer than a space astronaut character. And yeah, maybe it really just boils down to this should have just been a Lego City game.
Only one more layer protecting the vault. Uh-oh. Company.
I'm just gonna shoot
Open sesame.
shoot the vault and
or just open.
see if
you
the
have a nut
door
allergy.
opens.
Whoa. That looks like a lot of money. No wonder Vinny's had his eye on this place.
Might as well take these guys out. This front connector here looked like a key connector until I saw the glowing on the edge here and the glowing of the wire. Weird to have the studs in the safe and then jump to a cutscene.
Who are you?
Is this supposed to be the Maltese Falcon?
Intruder escaping. Sentinels pursuing.
So are they doing the Matrix reference here, or a reference to the Maltese Falcon? Because honestly, I don't think the Maltese Falcon reference
He's getting away.
would really make sense. Yeah, this looks like a Matrix reference. Again, references to movies that very, very possibly kids would not have seen and wouldn't be old enough to see.
Here we go.
Even if you were to make the argument that this is supposed to be a reference
Don't let him escape.
to the movie for the adults in the room who are watching while the kids are playing, there's basically nothing in this game for the kids. So we should, I assume, get a gold brick for this, if not a character skin or something. I don't think that vehicle unlock had to do with getting the whole shield. I think I just found both of those skins throughout the level. So should get like 3. Yep. We got 1 gold brick for doing all 4 of the pieces of the shield. But I'm still confused. And I really only took like an hour break between the last recording and this recording. No, it wasn't an hour break. It's been about
Chase,
4 or 5
I'm
hours.
still trying to shake these guys up. Did you get out?
Yeah, but I've got company too.
That's
Okay.
Mo de Luca.
Meet me at the south end of Promenade Gardens in downtown.
Right.
Mo de Luca, now I remember, he was the second of the Italian mobsters. We met him in front of this ice cream speakeasy place, and we had one conversation with him and then was sent off on another mission. The game has decided I'm going to drive a motorcycle, which, okay. So it started me there, which this is not where the cutscene ended, but whatever. We're really not getting chased by anybody. So it's really no challenge here. It's just drive here and try not to crash or have something crash into you, which is, it's more likely. A little bit of micro stutter. The weird thing is, if I somehow found out it was my CPU that was causing the problems, that'd be weird. My CPU is getting a little old, but it's still fine, and brand new AAA games run on it. More and more, I don't think having more than a mid-tier high-performance CPU is necessary because everything is so GPA graphics card oriented. What is this? Okay, nothing there. It's telling me to go down, but it's not really pointing to a badge location. So I don't know what's going to happen once we get through this section. There is a badge location. Okay. And there's enough things around here to make me think that we might just have an instance where we have to solve some puzzles. Who are these guys? Are these the billionaire's bodyguards? They're all clones, but they're not the Sentinel Agent Smith clones. Maybe they are the Agent Smith clones, actually. Maybe they just look different from the behind. Notice how I can totally grab the guys and run into no problem whatsoever. Nobody else will try and hit me or cause me any trouble. They're just waiting patiently to be punched. And the car drives away so I can escape the area. So if I was just gonna have to fight my way through it. By the way, I have that extra on where it is the Gauss sound effect. So we're getting a phone call right now. But the gas sound effect is not very good, so let's go ahead and turn that off.
Hi there.
Mo, are you near Promenade Gardens yet?
I wish. These bozos had people waiting for me at the docks. So I ain't gonna be there anytime soon.
Get to Vinny's. I tried calling him, but he didn't pick up. Not even just to yell at me. That ain't usual, Chase.
I'll make sure he's okay.
Why are we protecting Vinny? And more importantly, why are we driving back to where we just were? Like, seriously. We were just there. Alright, I'm gonna take this and then run out here
I hope this is the
and
right
then
street.
run this direction towards that silver statue and blow that up.
Hello there.
I need a vacation.
Then I'm gonna jump back on this motorcycle and drive back to the ice cream parlor.
Can you hear me right?
That's the prison area over there. This is not a terrible vantage point to see bits of the city, but then you've got quite a bit of the city that has nothing to show. I guess if I could get into a police vehicle, I'd prefer a police vehicle. But if I can't, I'm just forced. I mean, we can jump into a taxi cab, and the taxi cab is driving really, really slowly. And it's really tight to control. Like, I'm trying to move to the left, and it's not moving. It's just kind of pulling to the right and yet staying on the road. I'm going to just take my hands off the controller, and I'm not doing any of this. All I'm doing is holding down the A button. I'm not turning to the left, I'm not turning to the right. Like, who is controlling any of this? It's not like there's a mouse input or anything. So how much of driving has just been the game playing itself? It seems like there's such a dumbed down auto drive here, you don't have to do anything. Like, here, I took my hand off the accelerator. I'm not slowing down. So you can, what, just tap A and it will just drive you there? It's ridiculous. Oh, I was in the back of the car.
Did he hear me right?
Why would you give somebody the line?
My boss actually did that. With that raise,
Did he hear me right? I'm shocked my boss actually did that. Ah, another fine day in Lego City. Like, so I guess if you jump in the back of a taxi, you actually get driven around, which is good to know, but then also weird that there aren't more taxi cabs in the game. Another line of incidental dialogue. Hey. Hello. I lost my cell phone is one of them. It's like, the writer must have never written anything before. Like,
I should be spending my day off doing something more constructive.
I don't know. Like, it really seems like zero experience. The writer had zero experience writing incidental dialogue, which honestly, if you don't know what you're doing, you would have been better off just not writing anything. Plenty of games would sound perfectly fine if nobody ever said anything, and that is kind of realistic. Like, it's not like people walking down the streets of New York or are talking to each other or just speaking outside. So here.
Hello there.
My hope, and I screwed that up, was that I would be able to get the pig to jump off the edge while keeping my body on the platform. Instead, the exact opposite happened. This is nothing, by the way. These kind of things are nice looking. They make you look like you're doing something athletic, but all you're really doing is tapping A. So in we go to possibly level 11, if this is the way this is all being broken down. So we know there's 15 of them, and still somehow after this there's 4 missions, and I guess that makes sense because this is ridiculous that they were talking in the loading screen to go to the website for some reason.
What is going on in there?
So are these Rex Furies guys?
Guys are making a big mistake. When Rex finds out you did this.
Who do you think sent us?
What? Why did he?
I'm sorry. What's that? I can't hear you.
Oops, I broke the handle. I said, why did I gotta get Vinny out of there.
So, most police wouldn't put themselves in danger to rescue a criminal for violence being done on them from another criminal. Looks like there's a guy in a devil costume playing the organ. Wouldn't this be an ideal place to blow your cover, though?
It's as tall as a house.
Yeah, this really would probably be the perfect time to blow your cover and just call in all the police. But you kind of have to think that that is where this story has to end at some point, that the police have to come in and arrest a bunch of people. One assumes the people I'm handcuffing that are disappearing canonically are being picked up by the uniformed officers later on. It's kind of funny how he just throws the handcuffs on people, but that's a nice animation because then it doesn't show a major amount of movement in 3D animation modeling that you would need to do otherwise.
I'm gonna need to break the latch off to get Vinny out.
This is not a door.
Sheesh, Vinny. I know Rex has turned on you, but there's no need to go to pieces.
So you just build him back alive.
Thanks! The leader locked himself in the ice cream factory. You can get in through a secret passage in my office. Whew. I want to know why they did this. What? One of those worms has drawn a mustache on my mother's painting. How could they do that? Do you know how much I had to pay the artist to leave her mustache off in the first place? She'll go crazy if she sees this.
Seriously? Another Italian stereotype joke? I don't get it. Like, was somebody trying to get fired? In all honesty, why was there no oversight here? Like, this game, in a lot of ways, feels like the game Hatred, where it was a bad game, and I think they knew it was going to be a bad game earlier into the development, so they tried to sell it on a controversy and on it being extremely violent, when honestly it's not even that violent. But you can't sell a Lego game on that concept. You can't sell Legos on controversy. We're running into perhaps a few more micro stutters. If I could just find a good point to exit out, I think I would restart my computer and reapply that hack just to make sure it did the thing it needed to do. There's a funny thing, I guess, about my YouTube channel at this point is I prided myself on all the footage, or almost all the footage, being at 1080 60, which is to say it's recorded at 1080, and the resolution inside the game's own engine has always been selected at 1080, 60 frames per second, or 1080 at the very least, and then it being recorded at 60 frames per second if there isn't actually an option inside the game. But as we're approaching 2020, frankly, being only at 1080 is not really something to be proud of. So those kind of labels and that mentality, I think, is going to have to be abandoned, and games will be whatever resolution games will be at. Of course, for YouTube, it's not efficient, or I don't have enough internet speed to record games at a higher resolution. And even if I could do them at a higher resolution, I don't think most games run very well at those higher resolutions.
And why isn't my nightlight on?
There's a collectible up there. So we now have that platform powered. Which then lets me get up to this point if I don't fall down. So yeah, I am definitely thinking whatever the default resolution is, even if it's something as low as 640 by 480, that'll just be the resolution that I'll play LEGO games at going forward.
Monsters away.
That's not as bad as it seems, because there's still a considerable amount of games on consoles that are just scaling up to 1080p and don't really have a base resolution above 720. Okay, there's nothing here. Would have thought that there was something. Oh, there is something there. It's just being a hassle. I can't pull out my gun. Interesting. I'm hitting X, hitting B. Yeah, once it gets me near any enemies, I cannot use the gun anymore. So they've hard-coded the game to not let you shoot people, even if you wanted to, with any of the guns. Which really just gets back to the idea of what were they thinking. LEGO was never going to approve a game where you played as a police officer who could shoot people, so having a game where you play as a police officer in LEGO City falls apart. You would have done better as a construction worker like Emmett from the LEGO movie, or just any other kind of character. Or, you know, you could have also set it up so that Chase was a detective investigating things and finding clues and showing up at the crime scenes after the fact and just doing an occasional chase sequence. Instead of... But if you did something like that, you get too close to a Sherlock Holmes game and too far away from a regular LEGO game. Does this key go? It's kind of obvious where this is going to end up, right in front of that, so we'll just skip straight to the end. We are kind of rushing here, which is my stated goal, as I do. There's a plant, but it doesn't jump up to anything. It's not like there's an invisible wall or anything. And I've got plenty of studs. It's bricks that I need. There could be safes like this around in the open world that if there were things like that, there could be a bunch of bricks and studs
likes
behind
ice
it.
cream.
That's one part of the door open. And then just have to turn this key. And then there's another safe. Honestly, for background music, they probably spent too much money on the background music, as it repeats over and over again. It's a little too varied when it could have just been a much subtler
That is a pretty unconventional way of locking a door.
song that just played through many different levels. On the other hand, I guess a LEGO Star Wars game probably would have the full license of the Star Wars sound catalog, so you would have very iconic, recognizable music.
This place is closed for business permanently.
Boy, does this section feel like a section in LEGO Batman 2 when you were fighting Mr.
What you
Freeze.
doing down there? Making yourself a sundae? I can still see you in that box, you know. Hey, that's cheating. You two, stop him! Don't just stand there. Stop it.
So getting on the rollers seems to have the effect of pushing you down towards the other side, so there might be... Yeah, there's a box up there.
Whoa, stop messing around down there. All right, now you're beginning to get on my nerves.
It's a little interesting how there's sequencing going on here with the enemies, so it was a final boss fight.
Yeah, that's right. I've been being nice up till now.
Push us down that way.
Sorry about the frosty reception, mister.
And
What are you
twist
up
this.
to?
I have no idea what I'm doing. This is a great example of a bad level because there's just no visual storytelling explaining what my goal is or what I'm supposed to do. I'm just playing like an OCD LEGO player would play, which is to do everything that's possible, even if there's really no good reason or explanation why you should be doing any action.
Stop pressing buttons and turning valves.
So what did that accomplish? It activated a button. That's pretty much all I know I just did. You started to see smaller areas and levels where
Ah, come Come on.
where it's more
Can't
compact,
you guys do anything right?
which is fine by
What
me.
the- Ow!
Like, I really have no
That hurt.
problem with the levels going by a little bit quicker.
Hey, get me out of this thing, or Rex, or
Rex ain't here. Why did he send you guys?
I ain't telling you nothing.
It's okay, Vinny. I think I know how to make him talk.
This is going to be a callback to making them eat ice cream.
Eat some more.
Oh yeah, that's so delicious. Ow, ow, ow! Great freeze.
Here comes the airplane.
Wow, that is a very tight shot
Stop!
of the
All right,
character's
I'll
face.
tell you anything.
Where's Rex?
I don't know. Honest, I don't. But I know how you can get to I meant to do some kind of job tonight in the construction yard at Paradise Sands. You could take my place. You kind of look like me.
Hey, you are the same height.
If you're lying.
Don't worry, Chase. I'll keep him here. I got a few questions of
These-
my own I'd like answered.
These Lego characters are so glossy.
Is that the blueberry and pomegranate ice cream? Oh, that stuff is amazing.
You really need to get rid of the
That is
reflection.
going straight to my
That's
hips.
probably a major
I
part
get some
of
wrinkles.
the problem with this engine, is that they've got all of these textures having a high reflection on them, which is not even realistic to Lego pieces. I've never looked at a Lego minifig and gone, boy is this shiny. So if this was Unreal or Unity, in the 3D modeling you would just set it to not reflect anything, and maybe it wouldn't look as colorful. But there's two settings in most engines. There's kind of a ambient illumination that you could set as a texture to make it look like it's glowing and bright, and then there's actual reflectiveness, and I feel like they've got actual reflectiveness going on with all the 3D models and of the minifigs in this game, and 3D models of basically everything.
Ellie, you could tell the chief I'm getting very close to Rex now.
I'm surprised
Oh,
Honey's
that's
not
really
coming.
sweet.
Honey's
Great.
actually coming
Yeah,
back into the
I'm
story.
looking after the evidence locker for Ellie. So, you like Rex, do you?
No, I mean that I'm getting close to arresting him. I found out where his gang's going to be tonight.
Where's that?
Construction yard near Paradise Sands.
I know
It
the
doesn't
foreman
show
there,
you on the map
Albert
until you-
Spindlerooter. He
you
rebuilt
say.
my house after I blew up my house when I tried redecorating my house. Did you know you shouldn't rewire bathtubs?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm replacing one of Rex's guys on a job there. Tell Ellie for me.
Yes, sir.
I wonder what was stolen.
Yeah, like Frank is gonna actually succeed at that, at delivering that message. So let's take a moment here, and we still have two things to unlock as open world things. If the last mission was mission 11, maybe we are going to just rush our way through mission 12, mission 13. I wouldn't be surprised if there's 2 bonus levels to make it up to mission 15. They don't even have us move too far. So I imagine we'll go here and then do something and then have to go somewhere else.
If I'm late again.
Is there anything else to really take from this map right now? No, because the map doesn't really ever show anything. It's kind of useless. I really wish there was something in the options to get rid of the, like, the shininess of the minifigs, but that's just something they added to the games. Suppose I could turn texture quality down from high. Well, wait a minute. If effect setting has been shader quality is at low and shadow quality is at low. I guess maybe I could try to turn the texture quality down. Let's see, this probably would just tell me I have to reset the game. Let's see. Not seeing a major difference, but it does seem like color-wise it's a little bit different. You're still kind of shiny, though. Be interesting if this was the solution to the last bit of the micro stuttering. Is texture quality just set too high? Like, if I played the next recording with texture quality low and everything else worked, then I'd come back and turn all of the effects back up to maximum and see if that fixes things. I wish there was an audio volume here just for ambient noise, or you just heard birds and like incidental cars every now and then instead of people talking. Otherwise, we didn't get any new red bricks, and we haven't gotten any new red bricks in a long time. We've maybe unlocked a couple of cars, I think, and maybe one character, and we probably got 3 or 4 gold bricks. It also feels like in this last hour we did at least 2 actual numbered levels, so it is possible that the next recording we do 2 more actual numbered levels, and then that might be it. It's also possible that once we finish the main story element, the 2 bonus levels actually are, if there are 2 bonus levels and they are part of the 15 that we're seeing here, it could be that those don't unlock until you've accomplished something else, like getting 300 gold bricks. That's how it used to work. I'm not sure that's how it would work in this game. But on the other thought, if I do have any bonus levels, I don't know why a true Lego hero would be included. So it's probably a better bet to assume that there actually are 15 story levels. Then we see a credits. I assume we're going to see a credits. And then we get dumped back into the overworld to get all the collectibles. Meanwhile, we are at 21.5%. I do think we will be probably somewhere around 25% when we're done with the game. We are still incredibly short in Lego bricks with only 58,000. But we're perfectly fine with studs at 9 million, depending on what we really need the studs for, which it seems like we don't need them for anything. Well, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.